Oh my lord, guys. Wow. Now, I wanted to share this video of Cuphead being played by a video game journalist at PAX West, simply because of how awful and embarrassing it is to watch. What is going on, guys? Randall Thor 19, the man with the million, back again with another video. And my lord, guys, there's a 26-minute video of Dean from GamesBeat trying to play through the tutorial and the first level in Cuphead. And he just can't do it. Takes him a good 5 minutes to get through the tutorial. You can see here him struggling with this gigantic block, where it clearly says jump on the small block and dash through the air to get across it. But he's just like, nah, I'm going to try to jump over this 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. Why isn't it working? Now, I couldn't believe what I was seeing, so I figured, I'll watch the whole video. And it gets worse. He goes through the first level, and he can't beat it. He gets about halfway a few times, and there's 30 minutes of this video, which I'll have a link to it if you want to watch it yourself, because I'm not going to include it in this. It'll just be my voiceover talking over this incredibly bad gameplay of Cuphead. Oh my god, so incredible. Dean, I'm sure Dean is embarrassed, and I was getting secondhand embarrassment just watching this stuff. This is a guy who writes about video games for a living, and it looks like he's never played a video game before in his entire life. And this is just, what you're watching here is just the freaking tutorial. The stuff that's supposed to be ridiculously easy, that teaches you the basics and the building blocks of the game. And he's struggling with it. Struggling like he's like a 10-year-old or something. And then you kind of think to yourself, well, it's like, geez, this guy plays video games and writes about them for a living and reviews them. I hope he's not going to review Cuphead in a month, right? Because clearly, if he's reviewing Cuphead and he can't even get through the first level, he's not going to give that game a good review, right? And then he makes you wonder, is like, well, how many other games does this kind of happen with Dean? Is this an anomaly? This Cuphead gameplay? Is this just kind of like the exception and not the rule, and Dean is just amazing and all the other stuff? Or is this really kind of what it's always like? Is he just always just bad at games? Now, in my experience, the times where I've gotten to play against video game journalists from IGN and Giant Bomb and GameSpot and all those different places, right? My experience is that most of them are terrible at actually playing video games. I remember getting Halo 5 early. Got it like 2 weeks early. And the only people playing the multiplayer at the time were video game journalists, 343 employees, maybe some Halo pros, and some Microsoft employees. And you can tell who the video game journalists were because they couldn't kill anything. And it felt good because I'm halfway decent at Halo. I was going like 40-2 in matches, 35-1. And it was just like taking candy from a baby. And I recognize some of the guys' gamer tags because I follow them on social media and I read their reviews. But this is kind of a word of warning, or maybe caution, to kind of take people's reviews with games with a grain of salt. Because you don't know if they're playing the game the correct way or if they're good at the game, period. Now imagine Dean, after watching him, play through this right here. Look, first time on the first level, couldn't even make it 2 feet. Imagine he plays this and reviews it and gives it a low score, like a 3 or a 2. You would assume, oh, it's a bad game. But if you actually saw his gameplay, you'd be like, no, it's not a bad game. He's just bad at it. And he put his frustrations of the game out onto his review. And some people, follow him and value his opinion, so they don't pick up the game because of it. And that's kind of the broader issue. With these game publishers putting people's bonuses attached to how well the game does on Metacritic sometimes. And if the infamous case of like Fallout New Vegas, where it missed the bonus by literally 1 point on Metacritic, then you realize someone like Dean, who's playing this game in such a terrible way, like this person might hold the bonus over of a studio, and they may have played the game wrong. It makes you question some of the things that kind of go on. Now, of course, I'm not saying all video game journalists are terrible at playing video games, because I know a lot of them actually know what they're doing and are good. But there are quite a few that are really, really, really bad. And they're basically hired because they know how to write well. You know, it's not a requirement to be able to play video games good. It's just a requirement to write well. You know? We all remember Arthur Guys' playthrough of Doom, where it looked like he had never played a first-person shooter before. Is that kind of the kind of thing you want someone reviewing your first-person shooter? No, of course not. But this kind of is just, it's hilarious to see. You know, I'm not saying I'm the best gamer either. But believe me, like that tutorial on Cuphead, I would have had no problems whatsoever. And I'm sure anybody listening to this video would have literally zero problems getting through the tutorial in like a minute at most. Like, how are you going to sit there and try to jump up that large block 30 times without realizing I need to do something else? Without realizing there's text there. Jump on block, dash across to get across the top one. Like, how are you that blind to not see that? It just kind of boggles my mind. And then watching this gameplay, I think Cuphead looks really cool. I've played it. I can't wait to play it again. But I'm watching this and I'm just like, dude, this guy's terrible. He makes video game journalists look terrible, because now you're thinking in your head, oh, well, how many people are like Dean that just don't know what they're doing? And how many people are going to review Cuphead and give it a bad score because they can't get through the first level? It kind of brings up that question. And I don't know what to say. I mean, we've known that some video game journalists, I will say, aren't very good. And now this is kind of, I'm not going to say proof, but now we should question this. We always should question this. And you shouldn't just trust one person. In fact, I don't know if you really should trust anybody at any of the video game websites. You should always just take your own opinion on games. If it looks good to you, pick it up. If it doesn't look good to you, don't pick it up. You know? I don't listen to IGN or GameSpot or any of those stuff because I don't know who those people are. I don't know how well they play their stuff. I always kind of like, if a game looks good to me, I buy it. If a game doesn't look good, I don't bother. But I know a lot of people out there rely on their opinions to pick up these games. And I just hope that, you know, I hope that Dean's gameplay of Cuphead is the outlier. And that most people playing this game and most people reviewing this game in a month or so know what they're doing. And they give the game a proper review. And this is just kind of the outlier, and it's not the standard. Because I would hate it for a game like Cuphead to get destroyed in reviews because the game journalists who play it take an hour to get through the first level. The game is not that hard. How are you this bad at video games? This is what you're supposed to be doing for your job. Ugh. Anyways, guys, I mean, I hope you enjoyed this rant about video game journalism and how bad some of them are. I mean, just watching this game, I get transfixed. Just watching him trying to get through the same sections. Like, the enemies drop in the same pattern. They're always there, right? And it's like, the dude dies all the time. He's trying to, like, the enemy's coming from behind. Like, just move forward. It's like a Contra game. You don't go backwards. You continuously move. Oh my God. You see that? He just jumped in. Oh, man. Seriously. Seriously. This is a representative of video game journalism, of how well somebody can play a platformer. Oh my God. I don't know, guys. I'm going to link the 26-minute playthrough so you guys can check out the entire thing of him playing or trying to play through it. But my God, this is just horrible to watch. And I played through this particular level myself. And I believe my first time I got all the way to the end. And I'm not the greatest gamer on the face of the earth. I never said I am. But look, how many times has he died? And he hasn't even moved. He keeps on dying at the same spot. Come on, bro. Come on, Dean. Jesus. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you all had a good laugh watching good old Dean try to figure out how to play Cuphead the right way. If you enjoyed the video, please hit that like button. Subscribe. If you haven't already, hit that notification bell so you're always notified when a new video or when I do a live show when that happens. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see everybody in the next video. Later, guys.